Hello everyone, Namaste. This is Luke Elijah. My guest today is none other than Dwayne, who is a local actor, singer, and songwriter. Right? He's very well known in the Singapore theatre and music scene, and you've probably seen him on television. You probably even heard his voice for voiceovers for different advertisements and commercials. Right? I'm very pleased to have you here today, Dwayne.
Thank you so much for having me, Luke.
I first met Dwayne when about over 10 years ago, when we were still serving our national service in the Singapore Armed Forces Music and Drama Company.
Right.
Well, Dwayne, for those people who don't really know who you are, right, could you perhaps give them an introduction, tell them about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in theatre for about 15 years now. I do mainly musical theatre. Sometimes I do plays, sometimes I do a bit of TV, and sometimes a bit of film. I've done, the most recent one right now on TV is Channel 5's first animated sitcom. So that's called Heartland Hubby. I play Robbie, who's the brother in the family. It's sort of like an under one roof mixed in with a Family Guy type of feel. So that's the current project at the moment.
When is that coming up?
It's playing now every Wednesday.
Oh, playing now.
Every Wednesdays on Channel 5 at 9:30 p.m.
Okay. Could you perhaps share with the audience, right? I mean, for those people who want to have a career in theatre but afraid of entering it for whatever reasons because they think they can't make a living, but you're obviously being successful at it and you need a name, not only a name for yourself, but you actually make a living out of this.
Right.
How would you encourage others who have the talent but it's the fears that are holding them back from living their dreams?
Right. It's so funny that you say that because you're seeing it from an outsider's point of view. For me, I've just been doing what I do, and then people are like, oh, you're actually doing well, and I'm just like, huh? Oh, I'm just doing what I'm doing. It's like, how interesting that I have not seen that there are people actually trying to make it as well, and and struggling with it maybe sometimes. Well, what's my advice for them?
Yes.
How
How
would
do they overcome the fear of worrying that being an artist, performing artist, they cannot make a living? So should they just go out and do it and just do it, and somehow the issues, the money and all this will come and work itself out, the opportunities, the work will just kind of fall into place?
I think first of all you have to be really strong in character in a sense, because for acting, every business is a product or service. I think in the acting industry, if you're an actor, you are the product. So how you look, how you walk, how you dance, how you sing, how you act, it will everything bears on you. So you'll get criticism very directly about yourself, and you have to be able to take that and also accept certain things about yourself. Use your strengths, use your weaknesses as well. So when you get that down, I think it will be slightly easier to get through it. And then the other thing is also not to focus so much. It's balance, right? So not to focus so much on what people are saying about you. I mean, take some of that, learn, improve yourself, but also at the same time, the improvement is what's important. Whether or not you get the job, whether or not people say this or that about you, or whether your friend is getting the job over you, things like that, or all the industry talk and all the politics of it all shouldn't matter so much if you, at the end of the day, make sure that you are within yourself.
Yes.
Always striving to improve, competing with yourself. When you do that, you will find yourself better. And when you find yourself, you express yourself better, and you become more unique because you know who you are and what your strengths and weaknesses are. I think that exploration is very important, because then you do become a better artist indirectly.
I agree with what you just said, because we are truly only ever in competition with ourselves, not with others. So I think it's very good that you have this chance to showcase your talents and share it with the world.
Yeah, I have been very lucky. I mean, it's been a journey. I mean, when you start out, it's of course not simple. And of course, you're not as street smart as well, so rejection and all that sometimes can get to you. And but I think at the end of the day, passion does have to motivate you forward. And once you get to a certain point, then things become easier. You manage better, you get better at what you do. And then for me it started out wanting to just be famous at first, but then you don't get famous from being in theatre. So anyway, after a while I learned that what was really good about it was that I was in touch with myself more, and I expressed myself better, and then after that I got a little bit itchy, and I wanted to express myself differently, so I started to write, started to direct, started to teach. So yeah, I mean, things will evolve, like with anything in life, things evolve after a while, and you just have to go with the flow and not sometimes think or plan so much. It's a balance. I think a very key word that I've learned recently is balance. You know, with philosophies in life, I mean, people will give you advice about doing something that way, but then, you know, there are other people who will tell you something else about going the other way, but then sometimes a bit of each or sometimes more of one is more important, depending. So it's very important to figure out the balance. There's actually, technically speaking, no right or wrong. I mean, everybody's perception is different. So it's like, where do you find the balance? And we do that all the time. And the more comfortable you can get with being uncomfortable on that balancing pole, the better for you and the more peace you will find, stability.
That's very wise,
Yeah.
and it took even myself a long time to understand that, because in the past, I needed to seek approval from everyone, my parents, my friends, society, and now that I've more spiritually evolved, I realized, and more matured, I realized, no, you know what, I'm not going to worry about what others say, because our thing is they're not living my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I remember we caught a recent conversation with you, and you said the same thing, how you used to be very affected by externals, like what other people felt or thought about
Yeah.
you, but now it doesn't bother you
It
anymore.
doesn't bother me as much. I mean, like, and that was only like a year ago. I think I've been through a crazy, almost awakening. I mean, I'm still learning, but
Yes.
I realized that I've gone through a huge change in the past year. I used to be a people pleaser and all that, even whilst being an actor.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't easy.
I was the
but-
same, I was kind of a pushover. So
Yeah.
in a sense, I relate to you, I could empathize with what you're going through.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
so freeing when you find that. I mean,
Totally
it's not
liberating.
Yeah.
Completely free.
It's completely free, and it's not. I never look at it as like, oh, I'm here now and you guys are there. I mean, it's not a step. It's your own journey, and I
Yes.
think
It's our own at our own time, at our own pace.
Yeah.
At the rate that we can feel comfortable changing, shifting, and evolving.
yeah.
Well, recently you actually spent a whole week in Bali by yourself. In solitude. You went to yoga barn,
Yeah.
right? And then you went swam with the dolphins, right, in the
Yeah.
sea. Could you share with us all this, this whole experience that you had at yoga barn in Bali, and all by yourself? Detoxing and doing yoga daily and being around by nature. Share with us the experience.
Sure. I mean, when I first, got in touch with this whole spiritual journey thing, I was just like, one of the first few things was meditation, and I always wondered, like, why would I want to empty my mind and wasting time sitting there just doing nothing? How do I do this? How do I focus? Those were the big questions. But then I think it was, so I tried it for a while, like a couple of months, and it still didn't really click. And then I went to Bali, and because I did it more often, and I had the space to just really not do anything else. So, and then I realized that it's not so much during it for me, it was after it. I think that sort of just not thinking about anything and just not worrying so much, living in the present,
Being in
just
the moment.
breathing in the space, just made me just suddenly see things more clearly. So like I was responding to people in a better way. I had more clarity in terms of just being more sensitive to my environment, in terms of my own feeling, even my own body, how I was feeling, right? Because everything is body, mind, and soul, right? When you have all that aligned, then you are at more peace and you're more centered and grounded. So I was in tune with. I ate healthy then,
All the
especially.
vegetarian food, right?
It was really, really good organic food, and not it's very affordable basically. And so when you're in tune in all those ways, and I was exercising quite a lot as well then, more so than now. But it just when you're aligned, then you start having clarity all across, and you can you're in tune with your body, what's aching, and it just like you just naturally want to sit up straight and correct your posture, and you're just more aware of, and it's a great feeling.
Could you tell us more about the experience here? Because both of us are dolphins lovers,
Yeah.
right? They're such smart, beautiful, fascinating creatures. And could you tell us the experience? That was your very first time swimming with a dolphin as well, right?
I always wanted to meet one.
Yeah, always wanted to do one, and you finally had the opportunity. Could you tell us and share with us what that felt like for you to interact with these amazing mammals?
The thing was like I was part of a meet and greet session,
Yes.
and at first I felt like it was not very organic. It was actually they were trained to do stuff, and so it was kind of I didn't get to really meet the dolphin outside of that trained environment.
Yes.
And then at the end of it, I was walking past one of the other pools, and then I just went to the edge, and I really randomly just going, dolphins are such sentient beings. They feel
they are.
and they have such
Yes.
high vibrations. You know what I'm talking about. And it's like they're bound to. If I'm sending love out, and I'm just
You will receive
just
it, you will
calling out
sense
to
it.
it will sense it, and hopefully it will come up and meet me, because I really just want to meet a dolphin more organically than have them perform tricks. That's just me. But so I stood at the edge, and I just closed my eyes, and I just sort of just sent love out to the dolphin, and it responded, and it was making all sorts of noises, and like
Playing with you.
playing with me, and just like I was talking with it, and it was just the energy exchange that was really really lovely. And yeah, that was so great. I don't know, like I understand the dolphins when they meet autistic children, somehow they bring stuff out of them. They've been used in therapy. And things like
yes,
that.
exactly. They've been used in therapy. They recognize the frequency, and they connect to autistic kids at a level that others normally wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. So there's a certain power in that, and I just it was lovely to just be in that power. Whatever exchange happened, I can't really label, but it felt good, and I'm sure it really did some good for me.
Could you share with us, because you sing a lot, right? You appeared in Singapore Idol, you've even written a book, you've also recorded an album, right? You've done so many creative things. When you sing, what does it feel like for you to express your soul?
I don't know. I mean, I feel great about it. I mean, it's hard to describe. I feel very in touch with myself. I feel like I'm expressing whatever it is that I'm channeling, like whether it's grief or sorrow or joy. And the music really communicates to me so strongly things that words can't even communicate.
Yes.
I mean, and it's true what they say. On the outside, people say music is a universal language, right?
It's the language of the soul.
So yeah, I mean that's what it is. I think music is just so powerful that way. It transcends.
Extremely powerful, it really is.
Yeah.
It's a whole gamut of emotions when you listen to music. Depends on the beat and the tone, you can transport you to a whole new environment, right?
Yeah. So especially when you're not just listening to it, when like say in my case when I'm working, it's like I'm channeling it, through
Yes.
me as well.
It feels like from a higher source, it does.
Yeah,
When you
and-
do anything creative, it feels like that,
Yeah, exactly. And then when you're working with other people who are creating their own music, like say
Yes.
the orchestra or a fellow actor when you're singing a duet, or a group when they're singing, it's just there's power and it's beautiful. I mean, the feeling of it is just beautiful. You've not tried it, but you just sing together, even if it doesn't. If you don't think it sounds good, it's like I think there's a power in it. So,
So you actually offer singing lessons as well, right? On a
I do,
daily basis.
yeah.
Could you share with the audience and tell us more, or like how if they're keen to learn vocal training from you and singing, how would you approach you?
Well, you can find me on.
Connect with you.
If you look me up on Facebook, I have a page. It's just look up Dwayne Tan, DWAYNE Tan, or you can go to my website. It's at webs.dwaynetan.com.
Or click on the link below this video for the website link.
Yeah, and I always believe singing is great for anyone. I mean, even
Yeah, it's very therapeutic. Even if you don't have a good voice or
Exactly.
you're there, you still can enjoy singing and also leverage on the benefits that it will be able to cause you.
yeah,
It feels good, when you sing and you dance, you're expressing yourself. All the pheromones are kicking in,
Yeah.
and you just put in a good space, and from that space of feeling good, you attract all the good stuff into your life, right?
Yeah.
So like attracts like. So when you're sending out the vibes, right, giving it out, it's like an antenna. More of it will come. More of it's manifested and attracted back to you.
and on top of that, I mean, I teach also how to use your voice properly so that you don't damage your voice, because we all use our voices every day. More so if you're a professor or if you present, or
You're a speaker,
if you're a
talk-
speaker,
yeah.
and you want to use your voice correctly because you want it to last,
Yeah.
for as long as.
So could you give us a tip, like how should someone project, a quick tip, how should they project their voice?
I mean, it's generally from your diaphragm, but that's just very, very basic. In terms of my philosophy as well,
Yes.
there's no right or wrong. It's just what feels tense or not. if there's something that's tense when you're working your voice, that is the fastest indicator of you're using your voice wrongly. And people have tenseness everywhere. I mean, it could be in the tongue, it could be back of the throat, it could be up here, you know. And it's all related to your breath and how and where you use your. So you know, it's just.
It sounds very technical, but obviously you have the skills and the experience and the knowledge to guide someone through to best utilize their voice for not just for singing, but for whatever purpose that requires them to articulate.
Yeah, so I can help you with it.
Thank you for being here with us and spending your precious time for
You're
this
welcome.
interview to inspire others who might be watching. And give me a hug.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. So stay tuned for my next guest and the next video. Thank you.